Boom.
Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Beard Trends group review of Aleph male. So we have a couple of different beard oils and balms that we're going to do a group review of. We're also going to give you a fine discount code, which is going to be 30% off. We're going to give it to you just towards the middle part of this group review. We're also going to give you a couple of, I believe it's 3 giveaways. So look forward to that, and hopefully this can be a nice evergreen group review that you guys can look back on and on the Sukkot beard oil and balm, and then we have the Boker Tov beard oil.
Boker Tov.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Which
And
means
then,
good morning.
Good
Yes.
morning. Well, good morning to each and every one of you. And then also the King's Blessing. I just have it in the oil, but I think some of you have it in the balm, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, we welcome Eitan, the owner of Aleph Male, and Eitan's going to talk very quickly about the giveaways.
So shalom, everybody. Eitan Ben Avraham here in Israel. Just for a quick background, grew up in New Jersey, came to Israel in 2008, and I've been here since. I got married in 2017. 2018, started Aleph Male in 2017, got married in 2018. And we are going to have some giveaways tonight. You can win some oil, you can win some kits, you can win some balms. They're going to be happening about every 20 minutes, and this is an hour if you want to set your watches. But this is not going to be easy, nor is it going to be hard. It's going to be playful. And yeah, 30% off, people. I don't normally do this, but I realize that this is like an elite group, and there's going to be some serious beard aficionados watching. So I'm like, all right, let's open up the discount to 30%, and that will go live soon, and it's going to be for 36 hours.
We appreciate that.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Eitan.
This is the elite group. Let me just say that. This is the elite group.
As elite as it gets, they say, as the old fable says. So essentially what we're going to do right now is we're going to quickly kind of go around with all of our experiences with these products, say the good, the bad, the evil, any insights that might enter into whether or not you would be looking into these particular products. So whereabouts do we want to start in the rotation here? Wants to...
I'll go.
Swag goes first, and then it goes around.
I'm right here.
Okay,
so
there we go.
What's going on, family? I just did a review. We all just basically put out some reviews of what we thought about our individual journey with this. And what I had noticed is going into this, the scent out of the bottles were very strong, but very clean and very natural. I enjoyed this journey due to the fact it basically, my beard was transformed. It relaxed my beard. It wasn't oily. The natural scents were very pleasing. I loved the aspect of Eitan and the biblical aspects of the oils, and I'm a very spiritual man. I love Jesus Christ. I am a child of God. I love God completely. So going on this journey was spiritually pleasing, as well as getting to do a little research on, some of the Jewish thoughts about the oils and what they mean, the names of the oils and what they mean. Just to have that spiritual foundation of everything that goes on with Eitan and the company here, 100% was pleasing to me, and it's spiritually uplifting to me as well. But also, besides that, the scent profiles, I didn't think right off the bat, being, the essential, I don't really care for them. It changed my mind. They lasted quite a bit longer than I really thought that they would. And then the scent profiles, when they all came together and kind of relaxed all through the day, was just a very pleasing experience for me. So 100% changed my mind. Having 2 ounce of these oils is amazing as well. I love the droppers, how they they really suck it up and then disperse it into your hand, and then you can get it out. But the main thing that I noticed was the feel in beard. Everything just fell into place and it just relaxed. It was a great experience. So that, in a nutshell, is what I think about it.
And which one was your favorite out of the three?
Ooh, man, that was a tough one. I think the lemon and the lemongrass was probably my favorite out of all of them, which is, let me see if I can get Sukkot. You know, me being a redneck from Oregon, I want to put Oz and everything, Sukkot and, you know, Eton, and that's not it. But, you know, Eton actually gave me a message over Instagram pronouncing it correctly for me. So it's the Sukkot, you know what I mean? And it was a good experience.
Mike, can you do me a favor and just share the other fragrances that I sent you, just so that so that people will know what you're talking about?
Boker Tov is lavender, cedar, and bergamot. Great scent profile. Very clean and very natural. Sukkot was lemongrass, myrtle, and mint. And see, I didn't really get any of the mint out of it. It was more of the lemon and the lemongrass, and that was very pleasing. And my wife really enjoyed that. Nikki loves lemongrass. And last but not least was the one that really, out of the bottle, I was like, no way, I am not going to like this at all. I don't want to feel like I'm mowing my yard, but it changed. You know, it smelled like freshly cut grass right out of it. And that is King's Blend, or King's Blessing, which is jasmine and sage. When that relaxed in my beard, the essence of the oils were just amazing. And I wore that only in oil yesterday, and I didn't use any of the balm. I don't have any balm for this. But the relaxation and the way that my beard just held in place, you can see in my video where I pulled it apart and did the French, whatever they call that, the French split in the video yesterday. It just stayed there just due to the fact of how relaxed my beard was. No oil, no balm, nothing else, fresh out of the shower. It was great. Another really thing that I loved is the names of the oils. You know, you've got Sukkot, which is the Royal Festival, which is nature, joy, and faith. You've got Boker Tov, which is a fresh start, good morning. And then King David's Journey. I mean, how amazing and awesome is that, to get to go down a spiritual road, a biblical road, to the meaning of these oils. The foundation is strong. I just loved it.
Well, thank you.
Okay, I'm done.
Might I add that?
Does anybody else have anything to add, or did Mike cover it all?
I was just going to add the fact that Mr. Cribbs looked like a Blackbeard or just some mighty pirate with the fork going on. With, you know, this mighty fine Aleph oil balm, which I love, by the way. This balm is super hydrating. It's not my turn yet, but for me, this is just such a nice conditioning balm. I think we can all kind of agree on that. And if you disagree, I will fight you. So I guess we're going on to Mick this way.
Yeah, guys. So I've had the pleasure. I was actually really excited to be working with Eitan for the Beard Trends, because I did a very emotional unboxing and a review a few months ago, and I just really enjoyed the products. And same thing as what Mike was saying, like the feel in beard is just on point. Like Aleph Male is like in that top 3 category for me for like feel in beard. It just really takes to my beard, and it's just super softening. My beard always I can't stop touching my beard when I have Aleph Male in my beard. Maybe that's a bad thing, but I just love the way my beard feels when I'm wearing Aleph Male. When the first round that I did, I actually really took to the Boker Tov scent. That was my favorite. King's Blessing was like kind of like a close second, but then doing it the second round, like I really just I don't know, I dug into the scents a little bit more, wore them a little bit longer each, and I just I fell in love with this Sukkot. The lemongrass, myrtle, and mint is just such a nice, sweet lemon, almost like a lemon candy scent. And it just has this like deepness, like this deep, rich scent to it, and I really love it. This is one case. So yesterday I actually gave away a bunch of stuff to my brother, my little brother. He just had hip surgery and he started growing a beard because he's not working for a month. So I was like, hey man, come downstairs to the cave. We'll get you some products. And I told usually when I give stuff away, there's a couple of things that I'm like, you can't have this, but you can have everything else. But because it was my brother, I was like, you can have literally anything you want. This is actually the only one that I was like, but you can't have this. So out of everything, I was just like, yeah, you can't have this balm, but you can have everything else. And he ended up taking the King's Blessing for the oil, and I think he took I don't think he took the balm, but anyways, he really liked the King's Blessing. So yeah, that's been my experience. We'll kick it over to who's next, I guess. Tyson? Or
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Boy, Tyson.
Okay. It's hard to add anything other than what these fellas have already talked about. I do have a review on Aleph Male. I've spent time talking about Aleph Male, wearing the products.
Going deep.
What's that?
Going deep.
Yeah. And so I think the biggest thing that gets me about it is the feel, the scents. They like Crib said, they're out of the bottle. They're pretty strong, but they kind of just mix up well in the beard, so they don't overpower. Whereas to a lot of like essential oils, when you mix them strong, they can give me a headache. And none of that happened with this. And I love the olive oil. Like I have to attribute it to the olive oil because that's the only thing I could think of that makes it so much different. But you're talking like 2-ounce bottles, and I think they're on sale for $24 right now.
I lowered the price because they're now 2 ounces is 60 milliliters, and I changed them to 50 milliliters. So I actually lowered the price. So they're like 1.8 ounces now.
Which is still a great price.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love seeing that for people. And, we talk about Israel and things like that. And I think the first thing people think when we say that is the shipping, how much is shipping going to cost? And it's like, okay, they're shipped from the United States. He's got a place in the States that he makes them and then sends them over in big batches to the States.
Actually,
and then
little batches, but yes.
Little batches to the States and then shipped from there. So, I mean, as Crib said, it's the foundation. The things that Eitan has going on and what his beliefs and my beliefs and what goes into these oils really is impactful for me in my spiritual journey. And, I sat down with Eitan. We talked for, I don't even know, it was a couple hours, it seemed like. And then, we've had a few different conversations. So, for me, it goes beyond what the oils smell like, what they feel like. There's a purpose behind them. So that's the impactful side of it for me, is that there's the belief system, and there's what goes into it and the passion that goes into it. And when you're getting something from Aleph Male, that there's spiritual stuff going into it, that there's passion going into it, and that he's found the best products that never with Aleph Male. So
Alexander,
other than that, I don't want to take too long because I want to hear Eitan talk. I want to let him have some time.
Well, I'm sorry that how did you get I sent you the King's Blessing oil, right?
Yep.
How did you like it? Because it's a weird scent compared to what I know is out there, right? It's like, I don't know if anybody else is doing jasmine and sage.
It's different, and I don't know that I've really done jasmine or sage separately. So when I get the scent, there's not really anything that it reminds me of, like you're saying. Like, I don't know that anybody's really done it. So it's a completely different scent than you're expecting. But out of the bottle, you get that one scent, but then it warms up in the beard, and it is not, like I said in the review, it lasted longer than I was expecting essential oils to last, but it was a nice scent that was just kind of there throughout the day. And then the wind beneath my beard would come up and give me some more scent of that. And it was just, it was one of the better scents that I've experienced. I'm not. What's the one with the lemongrass? Like lemongrass just gives me an instant headache, so I can't wear that one. Yeah, I can't wear that one because the lemongrass, like anything lemongrass, just instant headache. But the King's Blessing is probably my favorite one that you have.
Cool.
Cool.
What about you, Patrick?
Make sure my mic's on.
You're good.
Like the guy said, they were all awesome feeling in beard. And the lemon, I was never like a lemongrass fan, but the Sukkot, I love that scent. I wore it to bed a lot, and my wife really, really liked it. It like basically put us to sleep. And it's just weird because I would never have anything that had the lemongrass in it. And this is just, I don't know what it is about this. I don't know whether it's the essentials in it or not, but the others, like, they all felt great in beard. I just didn't like, I don't know if it's just my beard, the essential oils don't agree with my beard. It just, it's not a bad thing, but with just the essentials, they don't make my beard as soft. But the feeling was just amazing, all the scents I really liked. I enjoyed. The balms were my favorite. Like I dug into the balms. The conditioning feeling of them, and just held my beard in place, my flyaways. It was just an awesome experience altogether. And to be from Israel, it just, you don't get beard oil every day from that far away, you know. And it's just, it's amazing. It's pretty much sums mine up. It's just an awesome experience I had with Aleph Male.
I guess I'm next, huh? I'm going to start with the Sukkot because yes, Tyson, that's me. Everyone's pointing at me, speaking me.
I'm going the wrong way.
It's hard to coordinate that. Huh?
Wait, Kaz, can we just drop the discount code?
Absolutely, we could drop it right now.
All right.
Yeah, so
there's a question from Mr. Pizza Face too that I want Eitan to kind of expand upon. Can you see the comments, Eitan?
Hold on 1 second. I'm typing in the code if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
No problem.
I love that question.
Yeah, that is a great question.
And what about
pizza? is the most important part of all of that.
All right. Did you move to Israel through birthright, served in the military? How's life there compared to New Jersey? I will answer all those questions after Kaz.
Look it up. I think one of the most notable things about these oils, and I did notice it from a previous company that I used olive oil as kind of like a carrier. I didn't like that other company at all. It was a terrible oil. I despised it. But what I did realize is the olive oil creates a very different sensation on the skin. It's almost as if it just coats the underneath of the skin, and to me, it's just so interesting and different. And I think the best utilization of this olive oil is within the Sukkot, which is the lemongrass, myrtle.
You liked it in Aleph Male.
What's that?
You
yes.
liked the
yes.
olive oil.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No. The other company had a terrible scent and terrible packaging. It was just terrible. This is an excellent utilization of the olive oil, I think. And just in general, unlike Tyson, you give me lemongrass. Somebody says lemongrass, miles away from me, I'm gonna be like, "What? Who's saying lemongrass?" I love lemongrass. So I don't know if you knew that already, but you got me down perfectly. I love this so much. It kind of reminds me of it's a little like Bulldog beard oil, a little bit, but it's so much more complex. It doesn't have that chemical after smell, and the beard feel of all of these are excellent. The Boker Tov, for me, lavender is hard, and I knew going into it, the lavender tickles my nose in a really, really weird way. So it's nothing against the company whatsoever. It's just I wore it about 4 or 5 times, and I'm like, it just keeps wafting up, and it's just kind of strange to me. But King's Blessing, I really, really liked. King's Blessing is a great oil. I like, kind of like Tyson said, nothing I've ever smelled before. It took a couple of applications before I even understood what was going on. I didn't really know what I was smelling for the longest time, because jasmine is not a smell I'm super familiar with, so it's really nice. And the balms, the balms are some of the best conditioning balms I've ever tried in my life. That is my absolute opinion on that. Just excellent softness. The hold is somewhere in between light to medium hold, but I didn't really use it for the hold. I just like to, get a little bit of a pop off my face, and just use it, to bring down some of the flyaways. And it just has a nice. There's no greasiness. There's no shininess. It's nice in that way. So that is my kind of overall review of that. So we had that comment from Mr. Pizza Face.
Mr. Pizza Face. Did you move to Israel through birthright, served in the military? How's life there compared to New Jersey? And what about the pizza? Okay, so I did not move to Israel through birthright. I actually came to Israel before birthright even existed. I came when I was 21 years old. Was the first time I came. And then when I moved to Israel, I was 38 years old. And by that time, I tried to get into the military. I tried to get into the IDF. I applied, and they basically told me that I was too old. Actually, no, excuse me, not 38. I was 31. I don't know where that brain fart came from, because it was 2009. But so yeah, they told me I was too old, and it's like, you can fight the military here. It's sort of like anything in life. If like you really want something, like you can get it, and that includes like getting into the IDF. And I was like, okay, so I can actually I met another guy who was also told he was too old, and he basically slept outside the recruiting office for 40 days and was like, I'm not leaving until you take me into the army. And so I was like, I'm not there. So I did not end up in the IDF. But I did try, but in my own ways, I've done my time. How's life there compared to New Jersey? It's a different world. I love America. God bless America. Mamash. I am so proud to be an American. At the same time, it's just a different spiritual level here in Israel, especially for me, because I'm Jewish background, like just what it means to be here. It's a totally different feel. And in particular, New Jersey can sometimes feel like a spiritual wasteland. And so, it all depends on the person, but for me, New Jersey, just like it didn't fill that hole inside me. And living here really does. And the pizza's okay, dude. It's like, you can't compare. There's certain things you can't compare. Like, bagels and pizza are just better in the States. I mean, like, what can I say? I didn't even know if the pizza's better in Italy. It's like, especially coming from New Jersey, it's like right next to New York City. So it's just like, I was just eating really good pizza my whole life growing up. So, but at the same time, you can't compare the falafel and the hummus. Like the falafel and hummus here, just like blow anything in the States out of the water. So, it's all relative.
I gotta try me some authentic falafel.
Yeah. Yeah.
One day, I'm coming.
I just want to like a quick word about essential oils, because it's been something that I've been like going back and forth in my brain all the time. Because when I first got started, it's like, I was like, cool, I'm going to make scents that are like a reflection of different Jewish holidays, and so at one point Rosh Hashanah was coming up, and the smells associated with Rosh Hashanah are apples and honey. So I was like, cool, I'll make a Rosh Hashanah scent. I'll do apples and honey. And I started looking around, apple essential oil, couldn't find it, right? You know, same thing. Like, I mean, I didn't even get to the honey part because I figured I could just put honey in, or maybe a small amount, whatever. But like, eventually I found a place that had apple fragrance. And then I went on my fragrance journey and found out that, like, basically fragrance companies do not have to list the ingredients of their fragrances. And like, since I was a pretty young teenager, I've just like been into the health food, eco green thing. And so I was like, you want to know what? Like, I just want to know what I'm putting in my beard, you know, and I know that I'm missing out on that route in terms of using fragrances, because there's just so much more creativity that a person who wants to mix with scents can do with fragrances. But at the same time, I'm sort of taking that hit and just like working with the essential oil. So that way I just, for myself, know like, what's this smell coming from? But at the same time, I totally hear how, like, you know, everything has its pluses and minuses.
For me personally, when I smell that Sukkot, I'd have a hard time thinking, oh yeah, that's purely essential oils. To me, it's a very complex scent profile, and I'm super surprised by it, honestly. I've tried, I don't know, 3 or 4 companies now that make purely essential oil based products, and it is really hard to get anything that's even remotely complex, and I think you nailed it with that one for sure.
Yeah.
I would love apple and honey.
I've got to ask. Oh, go ahead, Tyson.
No, I was just going to say apple and honey would be amazing. But I'm crazy, and I think putting honey in, actual real honey in the oil would be awesome and beneficial. Yeah,
I'll put it in the balm. That's what I was thinking, was just a little bit of honey in the balm. I mean, so many balms are already using beeswax. So, you know, but yeah.
I've actually used real honey straight up as a beard balm before. It actually works really good. It's not as sticky as you would.
Really? I would assume that would be really sticky.
Yeah.
You gotta wash your hands after you use that.
Michael, you were about to say something, yeah?
Yeah, I was going to ask, you ever thought of doing, of course I've got to ask this, coming out with an essential oil oud fragrance or a scent profile?
Dude, because of you, because of all y'all constantly talking about oud, yeah, I have thought about it. I've looked into it. You know, it's you know, personally for me, it's one of these things where it's like, how much do I want to release new fragrances and new scents, and like sort of like having a reason to do it. Like, I feel like I have some basics that are just really popular. The Sukkot, the Boker Tov are both very popular. The King's Blessing is popular. You know, Havdalah is like a Jewish ritual. Every Saturday night, we light a multi-wicked candle at the end of the Sabbath, and we smell different fragrances. And very often the fragrances used are cinnamon and cloves, and the ritual is called Havdalah. So that's where that smell comes from. And actually, just to do a quick background on the other fragrances, the smell of Sukkot comes from what's in the Bible known as the Festival of Tabernacles, which is basically a fall harvest festival, which is why also it's called Royal Festival. And for 8 days, it's, you know, Jewish tradition to sleep outside in a hut with a roof made of natural grasses or fibers, and like you literally move your whole life outside. Like, you leave your house, leave your kitchen, leave your living room, and part of the idea is like sleeping under the shade of faith. That like, it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, we're all living under the same sky. You know, we're all come from the same place and going to the same place. And at the same time, there are four plants that are taken and shaken in 6 directions, which have to do with sending blessing in 6 different directions, which are the lulav, which is a palm frond, the etrog, which is the citron fruit, myrtle, which is also known as Hadassah in Hebrew, and then willow. And so the scent profile of the Sukkot blend basically comes from that. So the lemon and the lemongrass are for the etrog. Etrog oil itself is like ridiculously expensive. Like the one place I saw it was selling it for like $1,000 for a really small amount. So I was like, okay, that I'm not going to work with. But, you know, etrogs smell pretty similar to lemon. So let's just work with lemon and lemongrass. And it still gets a similar smell. And then the myrtle is the hadass. And then the mint I just like threw in just to like, to be honest, make sure it doesn't smell too much like a cleaning product. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like if you get too lemony, it just starts smelling like a cleaning product. And it's like
it was right there.
Exactly.
It was right there. Yes.
Exactly. So that's why I threw in the mint, because I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that to my peeps. And so yeah. And then King's Blessing is basically part of what it is. Part of what I'm trying to do with Aleph Male is change the conversation about masculinity. And that, like, you know, there's a stereotype. All right, I'll launch into this and then bring it back to King's Blessing. I'll just launch into a piece of this, right? It's like, I heard this, I've done a lot of inner work. Like, since I was a little kid, I was always asking the question, what does it mean to be a man? I don't know where I got that from, but I remember being like 12 years old and just being like, what does it mean to be a man? You know, just like it was just like in my head, like, what does it mean to be a man? You know? And actually for many years, and I think it's only really begun to change since I got married, although for everybody it's different. I was like, okay, I know what boylinity is, but I don't know what masculinity is. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know what it's like. I like internally, I've got the body of a 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, but I mean, externally, but psychologically, I still kind of feel like a boy. It's like boylinity, you know? So it's like, so what's masculinity? Like, what does it mean to feel like a man? And so I got into men's circles and men's work, and I heard a concept which just blew my mind, which is that women are sex objects and men are success objects. Right? And that in the same way that, like, women are objectified and one-dimensionalized and judged by, you know, attractiveness, for men, it's money and power and control, and it's like who you are is how much money you have, and there's like this pressure to always know and always be in control. You know, and it's like, oh shoot, man. Well, what if I don't know? You know, like, what if I don't know the answer? What if I'm not sure, right? And at the same time, that's what opens up the gates to being a student. Right. And that's sort of like the needing to be the alpha male. And so part of where I'm coming from with the idea of an Aleph male is that it's not about being the top dog. You know, like, actually, we as human beings are made in the image of God. We're not dogs. And the peak of masculinity is not a dog. Right. The peak of masculinity is like God. Right. Like it says in the Hebrew Bible, we're made in the image of God. So I believe that every single man, every single human being has a spark of the divine inside of them, a spark of infinity inside of them, right? Yeah. That's like connected to this incredibly powerful light and blessing, and that the best we can be is transparent to that. And so that's, you know, what Aleph, that's the idea of being an Aleph male.
To serve.
Yes. You know, is to be connected to that. And that's what it means to be a man, you know, is to be transparent. Amen. To that source, you know, and so that's what I'm going for. And it's a different conversation about masculinity because we are all deep. We all have very deep worlds inside of us. Every single man is incredibly deep, but sometimes, you know, it's like Pavlov's dog. It's like we're conditioned to need to appear a certain way. And part of what I want to do is be like, dude, you don't have to, like, you exist, like you as a self with your thoughts and emotions and dreams and light and shadow, you're in there, you know. And it's like and that's what the world needs. Like, that's what the world, and that's what men need. Like, we need to breathe, we need to be full beings. And so that's where King's Blessing, right, is inspired by King David. And back in the day, King David was walking around the hills of Jerusalem, And two of the plants that grow in the hills of Jerusalem now are jasmine and sage. Like when you're walking around Jerusalem, when you're walking the streets of Jerusalem, especially at night, I don't know if you're from a city where jasmine, it grows, it blossoms at night, and it's like intoxicating, right? It's like you get drunk on the smell of jasmine. And sage is just this awesome, earthy, pungent smell. And so it's almost like masculine and feminine. And the thing about King David, we got to do our first giveaway. The thing about King David is basically like if you read the Bible, King David was crying, King David was dancing, King David was laughing, King David was like, a poet. It's like he was like, and at the same time he was a warrior. Like he cut off Goliath's head, right? But he was deeply in touch with his inner world, and so like that is part of what I'm trying to go for with my brand, and the brand culture is just like, that's why, the second giveaway is writing a poem. That's part of in honor of King David, and that's the biggest takeaway. But we'll start with the first giveaway. So Forever's out there watching this. First of all, I know we're approaching the 30-minute mark. We're in 36 minutes. So we got to do this. Okay. So basic. Say it again.
And we all can talk. That's for sure. Yeah.
So the question is, and you can Google this for whoever gets the answer. What does the Hebrew word tikkun olam mean? And that is for a Sukkot balm. I mean, a Sukkot oil. What does the word tikkun olam mean?
Are we doing this one for everyone, regardless of if you purchase? And we're doing the big one for those that purchase in the live stream, or how are we doing?
No, this is just for anybody who's in the live stream right now in the chat. If they can answer the question, what does the word tikkun olam mean? TIKKUNOLAM. Whoever hits that gets a Sukkot oil.
I love Tyson's answer. 32.
Yeah.
Right up next between 1 and 50.
Bearded Chef.
Bearded
Chef for the win.
Attaboy.
Nice.
Okay. Nice. All right, Bearded Chef, you got it. Camel Cam, you came close on second. I'm sorry, bud. You might be able to get the second one.
So how does Bearded Chef, does he get in touch with you via Instagram?
You know what? Just email me, EITAN @AlephMail, ALEPHMAN.com.
Eitan.
Here, I'll write it in.
I believe I have
Congrats, James.
Okay, great. Awesome. Okay. So you know what? I wanna like turn the tables just a little bit and just ask you guys some questions, since I can schmooze with you. And schmooze is like a Yiddish word, which kind of means to like kibitz, which is actually another Yiddish word, but it's kind of just like to just sit and talk, say what's up, just like schmoozing. Like sometimes it's like, dude, stop schmoozing and start working. You know what I'm saying? But like we're schmoozing right now, right? And we're schmoozing about beards, right? So that's why we're all in here. And so I'm curious, from you guys, what do you use to brush your beard? I've discovered that I have basically 3 tools that I use, and I'm curious what sort of combs, brushes, things are you guys using in your beard?
Go ahead,
Let's just start at the top and go around.
Yeah.
So Kaz, you go.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, but personally, I'm a big fan of roller brushes. I find just using like wooden brushes and stuff like that, it doesn't get my beard in the place that I want it, because I style kind of like a Verde beard, so it's all kind of tucked under. So when I style, when I comb through, let's say in the middle of the day, or when I'm actually styling, I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to comb down, but also be able to get it in a place where it's nice and round and how I like it. So I'm a big fan of that. And sometimes I finalize it with a boar's bristle brush, not as often as I would use a round brush. But yeah, that's my preferred
So
method.
you do the round and the boar's bristle. You'll do both.
Yeah. And then of course with the blow dryer, and then I'm just basically rolling it out all the way along, and that's my styling method typically. I have plenty of videos on my channel of how I go about that. I have at least 10 styling videos.
I use an array of combs. Very rarely do I even use brushes.
I'm surprised we haven't seen him comb his beard 15 times on this live stream.
I keep seeing Mick up here in the corner doing something. I was like, is he combing? Good. I'm going to start going in. Chicago combs, amazing. Kent combs, amazing. Then I have my Walmart Ace comb. Yeah, I've got that one right here, Patrick. Boom. This Chicago comb, amazing. And then the Big Daddy.
Whoa.
The Big Daddy that I go with, is
Wow.
this bamboo comb. But it's just in the morning. I get out of the shower. I'll run that Ace comb, the big tines through it. Then I'll put my oil in, let it relax, and then just comb. I'll go from the wide teeth after it kind of dries, and I use the hair dryer. I only use the hair dryer on a cold shot, though. I don't ever nail it with the heat because I don't want to look like a wizard. I don't want one of those straight, real wizardy kind of a beards. I want a little bit of the curls in it. Yeah. So it's just combs. That's basically it for me. And all day long, I am an over groomer by far. I need to stop. I'm working on that, though.
I tend to do that too. Sometimes I'll take like a wide tooth comb. I have one where the bristles are the teeth are about that far apart, and I typically run that through first. I don't really have a naughty beard, but naughty. But yeah, something like that. But it kind of helps to detangle first, and then I go through with my roller brush. I do like my my roller brushes, or round brushes rather. I'm gonna
have to run and get one of my combs. I'll be right back.
Absolutely.
I'll be right here grooming.
Mick, why don't you?
You're right here touching my
You
face.
came to watch 5 men groom their beards.
Hey,
You're
welcome
here.
to the groom show, huh? Bunch of fellas just stroking the man manes.
Oh yeah, we're stroking
for.
the man making too.
Tyson, you do the roller brush.
Oh, there you go.
So these are my 2 go-tos. About the only 2 things I use.
Yeah.
This is called a Detangler Brush. It's got the board bristle in there, but it also has, I guess, the normal kind of bristles. So I usually use this, and I'm kind of combing up as I blow dry because I have a huge wave right at my chin line. And so my beard actually goes, it will follow my chin and come straight down into this tiny little point right here when it's wet or as it's drying. So I use this and go up with my blow dryer. And then if I still have that wave, which I usually don't, then I'll use this right on my jawline and kind of grab it like that and pull it out and use some heat. And then to get it to come out, and then, you kind of, as you're turning it like that, going down. And that's usually all I do. I don't use a comb ever. I don't use any board bristle brushes unless I got crappy product in, and I need to. But usually a good product and these 2 brushes will do the trick for me.
I use a round brush in the morning just to get things going, and then just throughout the day, I'm mostly using a Kent comb. Sometimes I go in with a board bristle brush, but I lost mine, so I need to get a new one. I do like the feeling of a board bristle brush, just like kind of scraping against the skin as you're going through your beard. It's a very satisfying feeling for me.
It's very easy to lose them. I find I lose. I had so many wooden combs at one point, and now they're all gone. I'm like, hey, tell me where they go. Like
with your socks.
Yeah, wooden comb.
I cannot stand wooden combs. Like, they just don't do nothing for me. I don't like them.
Yeah.
What about you, Patrick, Mr. Beardtastic?
Well, out of the shower, I use this big guy right here.
Whoa!
It's got the big bumps on the top. I don't know if you guys could see that.
Looks like
That's
a-
bamboo, right?
Yeah, it's really, really nice. And then I'll
Yeah, I
take
have one of those like that too.
and I'll take any one of these combs and just round it off with the hair dryer.
You take them off
Actually-
with fingers.
Actually, when I use the blow dryer, I use this thing.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually my daughter's brush. But
Oh, Jared's in here. Uh-oh. Be on your best behavior. No, I did not eat cookies today.
every once in a while, I'll take this guy that I just got.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. This
Yeah.
is more of a showpiece. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
Joey.
It's just an awesome looking comb.
I like that
But
a
it's
lot.
dangerous.
Very cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a little. Look at that thing.
Wow.
You guys
Mike
are
has
so
a
smart.
Wait, there, you don't have. My goodness.
Well, Mike,
I think I'm going to turn mine into a shiv.
Now,
Yeah,
Mike,
you gotta
You
be
know what my
careful with
favorite
that.
comb is, though? My favorite comb. Right here. Like, your hand.
Your
Or your beard.
God-given comb. Yeah, man. Good stuff.
So I
So
heard
I'll-
you had a
I'll help you
comb.
on that one.
I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you guys what I do really quick.
Yeah, yeah.
I basically have 3 tools besides my 10 fingers. First of all, and by the way, it's always changing. You get what I'm saying? It's always evolving as I'm figuring it out. But lately, I'll use like a big plastic wide tooth comb, and that's to just like run it through after the shower. I'll put the oil in, and that like gets through the tangles without any fear that I'm gonna break some hairs. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because it's like if,
Yeah.
and then after that, if I want to do what I'll call the polish, I'll use the boar's hair on top of that. So I'll do like the wide tooth comb, especially I think this is true more for people with longer beards. I think with shorter beards, I don't think you need a wide tooth comb. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like the beard's too short. Like I don't know if there's a point
Right.
to that. Like, but with a beard like mine, I think it makes more sense. And then I'll do the boar's head on top. But something that you guys haven't shown yet, which I found in the Shuk in Jerusalem. Shuk is like the marketplace, which I freaking love, is this thing. Right? It looks almost like a horse brush, right? You know, and so like my inner horse, you know, really loves just the feeling, especially on the skin and like the chin. It's just like, it feels like a massage.
Yeah.
And it's also, what I like about it is it's got like the teeth of like a comb, if you get what I'm saying, but it's also wide. So it has like the brush feeling. I'm not selling them because if I'm going to release a comb, it's going to be one that was handmade here in Israel from wood in Israel, and I'm actually working on that. But you can get something like this on Amazon if you just search like scalp shampoo beard brush. You'll find these things. And I
Just
find
hit me
that
up. I'll give you my
also
Amazon affiliate
really
link
useful.
for those 99-cent plastic combs.
Yeah.
But they work good in the shower. I have 2 that I use in the shower for when I put beard wash in and then kind of like exfoliate around with that thing.
I need to get one of those.
Yeah, I got an Amazon link for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you
So yeah, so that-
gonna add a disclaimer to that? You know, this
All
is
you Canadians as well, I have a Amazon Canada affiliate link as well. Just throwing it out there.
Canadian.
Tyson's
Yeah.
making money off here on hosting on my channel. He's trying to get a quick buck.
Okay, so
So-
I should probably do another giveaway question, yeah?
Yeah, and
All right.
just
So-
for everyone that's new here, I just copied and pasted the 30% off discount, which is Beard Trends 30 for 30% off. Just go to the
Everybody that's new here.
go to the chat there, and I have it there. Go ahead, Eitan.
Okay, so for everybody who's watching, this nice pick. This is going to be a little bit more. This is going to require you to use your noodle, your creative noggin.
Yeah, man, I'm checked out today.
And well, you can't win anyway, Patrick.
Okay, good. All right. We got this.
You know. All right. So basically, here it is. Write a 3-line poem about something you are grateful for from today. And we in the Beard Trend group, we'll judge all of the different poems, right, and pick a winner, right? Because I'm assuming we're going to get more than one poem. So it's a 3-line poem about something you're grateful for from today. It could be the sunshine. It could be your wife. It could be your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your daughter, the grass, ducks, your sports team, your soul, your hands, whatever it is. Something you're grateful for from today, love, hate, something you're grateful for from today. But it's got to be a 3-line poem, and the winner of this will get a King's Blessing kit. They'll get a balm and oil King's Blessing, plus a piece of Dark Ops tactical chocolate from my friend Shammai Siskind, who makes these in Jerusalem. They're the freaking bomb. He's about to release them to the world, and I think they're going to blow people's minds. And so you will get a King's Blessing kit plus the Dark Ops tactical chocolate.
Oh my gosh, Jared.
My wife, she is nice. She doesn't have
rice. Her cooked me fried rice.
I was going for the whole Christopher Walken thing because it looked like it needed that.
Oh my god.
Okay, so let's keep on waiting for the poems.
Yeah,
and we'll see what happens at the end.
3-line poem. Her equals she. There's the typo correction there.
Mine's coming.
My wife, her is nice. Her doesn't have lice. She cooked me fried rice.
Yeah, but you guys can't write these poems, man. You can't. You guys already won. This is for the people in the chat.
So
I like writing poems.
All right.
Yeah, I wrote one too.
Somebody can just steal mine and copy and paste it.
All right, we got some openings here, guys. We're talking about it's a King Blessing full kit, right?
Yeah, it's an oil and balm.
Balm, and then a big old hunk of chocolate.
Yeah.
Some dark chocolate.
Swag parts are funny, so if anybody does a fart poem, you're probably gonna win.
Mr. Ravenson.
Alexander Ravenson. I'm feeling it.
I'm gonna take this opportunity while people are writing in their poems to let everyone know that this is actually also going to be my last review cycle with the Beard Trends guys.
What?
So a lot of big surprise for you guys. But yeah, it's just a lot of stuff going on in life right now, and increasingly difficult to make this thing happen and be a part of it. So maybe one day I'll be back if it's still moving forward. Just right now is not a good time for me. So appreciate everyone that's been coming into the live streams and chatting with us, and it's just been an amazing. I think it's been like 6 months.
Yeah.
With Kaz and Tyson and Patrick, and now newly Mike, and we had Brian before that, and it's been really great getting to know you guys, and the conversation is gonna keep happening. We're still brothers, and I'm trying not to get emotional. I get emotional sometimes.
Well, I speak
I
for
can't
all.
read some of these. Oh my gosh, some of these are just ridiculous.
But
But Mr. Pizza Face is up there.
I think Mick Man has something that kind of sums up all of our feelings about it.
No.
About Mick.
I made a poem about Mick leaving.
Yeah.
I turned it into a poem.
You see, this is what I'm saying. It's good to be creative.
There you go.
I'm very grateful.
And all kinds of beautiful stuff here. Grateful.
All right, grateful for New Jersey with the greatest Jewish deli. Harold's famous corned beef and pastrami will fill your belly and possibly make your bathroom smelly.
Wow.
Oh boy,
I love him.
Oh man,
That's pretty good, Mr. Pizza Face.
Pretty good.
I'm
I'm
grateful,
for the
man
wonderful man main. I have the chance to pursue my degree and the lovely warm weather we've been having. Okay, that's a non-rhyming poem, but I'll take that up as a poem still. I'll put a seal of poetry on that.
Got one from Camel Cam.
Only poem I could think of is roses are gray, violets are gray, everything is gray. I am a dog.
Ow! That's right, because dogs can't see in color.
That's correct.
Okay. So I guess should I jump back a little bit more into some Aleph male philosophy?
Because we are horrible poem writers up in here, Eitan.
Okay,
Obviously.
we'll see. No, I think there's been some good stuff in here.
Especially-
So just like a few more quotes that I think are just pretty mind blowing. Just some like Jewish beard quotes, because part of what I like, a lot of people are like, dude, you look like a Viking. I'm like, no, man, I look like a Jew. Like Jewish beard culture is thousands of years old. Moses had a beard. King David had a beard. You can find this blog on my website, but I'm just going to read you some quotes of just like Jewish beard quotes, Jewish beard wisdom. So like another piece that you guys should just know is that, well, all right, actually first I'll read you the King David story, because that's just mind blowing, right? So this is from the Bible, right? King David sent some ambassadors to the kingdom of Ammon, and Ammon thought they were spies, right? So they basically humiliate them. And how do they humiliate them? They humiliate them by shaving off half of their beards, right? It's like that was such a part of Jewish culture. Like the beard was such a part of Jewish culture. And so now I'm quoting, this is from Book of Samuel 2, chapter 10, verse 5. And they told it to David, and he sent to meet them, for the men were very much ashamed. And the king said, remain seated in Jericho until your beards grow, and then you shall return. Right? So it's like there's like a, it's like when I started Aleph Male, I didn't realize I was riding like a worldwide wave of beards. Like it's like a wave that's just still going. But at the same time, even though I was already practicing Judaism, I learned so much more about the beard in Judaism when I got into this. And just like a few more quotes, like it's actually like in the 5 books of Moses, there's like a commandment not to take a razor to your beard. Like you're not supposed to cut your beard with a razor. And a lot of religious Jews take it to the point that they don't trim their beard at all. Like it's from Leviticus. It says you shall not round off the corner of your head, and you shall not destroy the edge of your beard. Right? For some of you who might know who he is, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, he wrote The Beard is the Channel for One's Livelihood. He has so many teachings about the beard and how when a man grows a beard, it opens the gates of blessing for him. On that note, I started Aleph Male. I launched Aleph Male on June 16th, 2017, and I got married on June 17th, 2018. And it was just like that 1 year after I launched Aleph Male, like changed my whole life. And there's an idea that like when a man grows a beard, there's this concept of as above, so below, that like what's happening in the spiritual world also has a corresponding ripple effect in the physical world. And also what we do down here has ripple effects on higher levels. And so there's an idea that when a man grows a beard, it's literally like roots of blessing coming down out of his face and like bringing blessing into the world. And the beard is actually associated, Tyson actually talked about this in his review, with the 13 attributes of mercy. The beard is actually like, you can look this up. The beard is associated with kindness and mercy and patience and returning blessing, like for injury and forgiveness and all of these things that, like, listen, dude, I also got my inner warrior. I also like knives and swords and skulls and fire and all that stuff, man. Like, trust me. But at the same time, it's like a different narrative of what the beard is about, and that's also part of the Aleph Male philosophy. Just like another quote. This is from Psalm 133. How good it is when the brothers sit together in unity. How good is it? I'm throwing in my comment, like, how good is it? It's a question, right? How good is it when brothers sit together in unity? Like the good oil on the head that flows on the beard. the beard of Aaron, which runs down the mouth of his garments, like anointing one's beard with oil is in the Bible. Like it's an ancient Jewish practice. And actually, Mike, like this might blow your mind. I know I told this to Patrick, but like the word Messiah, right, actually comes from the Hebrew word Mashiach, which means anointed one, because the Messiah is going to be anointed with oil. Like the word, like you can look it up on Wikipedia. Like Mashiach means anointed one, and he's going to be anointed with oil. So, you know, it's just like, put that in your beard. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. There is like some very, very deep Jewish teachings that are going on in terms of what it means when a man is putting oil in his beard. And that's also part of what I want to get to in terms of this culture is really taking the beard to the level of soul, because we all have souls.
The 13 attributes of divine mercy, like I think a lot of us kind of know some of it and what it is, but you don't really realize, you know, I didn't really realize it was a thing written until you and I talked about it, and I've researched it, and like the 13 attributes of a divine mercy is super impactful. It's super relevant to everything that we do. And I am absolutely just in love with that and what it stands for. And I research it and read it a lot. And I think if you guys are
sorry, Tyson.
The 13. No, go for it. Go ahead.
No, and I mean this literally. Like according to Chassidut, the beard is the physical embodiment of the 13 attributes of mercy. Like there's an idea that every part of a man's body has a spiritual counterpart, and that the beard is actually the physical embodiment of the 13 attributes of mercy. So when you grow a beard, you're like bringing it into your life. You know, and so that's just like, when I learned that, that's just like, it just changes my whole understanding. You know, like I think that you see this, like, you know, I also work in marketing. Is it okay that we're over time? I know we're going over an hour. Is that all right, people? How are we doing?
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. So I work in marketing, right? Every brand has a narrative, right? We like with the images that we use, with the words that we use, we create a narrative. And in a lot of content around beard brands, you will see the narrative. There's a lot of narratives. There's like the beards will get you chicks narrative, right? There's like the skull and bones narrative. And these all represent aspects of a man's psyche. And all those aspects are real, right? But it's just a matter of how much balance is there. And then there's also like the sort of like beard associated with like wisdom and like Gandalf and Merlin, and like this narrative in the beard that somehow the beard is connected to this like otherworldly spiritual force somehow, right? And actually in Judaism, it's like for real. You know, like it's not just like a myth or a legend. It's like, yes, when you grow a beard, you're tapping into the 13 attributes of mercy, right? Like I'll just read like a couple of more quotes. So Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson says the beard is the channel for one's livelihood. And a chassid, a student, once came to him and he said, how can I be wise in Torah and also wealthy at the same time? Because there's an idea that it's very hard to do both. And ultimately he said, grow a beard. I got another quote from Reb Zechariah Goldman. A man's beard represents channels for divine abundance and reflects supernal godly qualities of kindness and trust, which men are called to embody. This is from a book called the Pre-Eitz Chaim, which is like an ancient Kabbalistic text. It says the 13 attributes of mercy are revealed through the beard. And then this is from the Zohar, which is like one of the quintessential books of Jewish mysticism. This is the quote. It says, woe to the one who extends his hand to shave the sublime beard. You know, so it's like the beard really is like, look, like we have bodies, but we're not just bodies, right? We're spiritual beings having a human experience. I think part of the reason why a lot of people love stories like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones is because there's this idea that we can go into some sort of fantasy world where there's things like magic and there's an invisible world that like these people in these stories over there can access. But what I've learned from, you know, Judaism as a spiritual path and just the idea of like the quest to know God in general is that actually that world is here. That world is here. We don't need to watch Star Wars to access that world. And in fact, just like in those movies, there's good guys and bad guys. And there's also like the Han Solos, like the gray guy. You know, there's also like, you guys know what I'm talking about, Han Solo, Star Wars. He's not like a good guy and he's not a bad guy. He's kind of like gray. But in the end, he's good. You know what I mean? He's like, you know, and I think a lot of us like struggle trying to like be the good guy, but like we end up in the gray, but we're trying to be good, you know, like we're all on that spiritual path, all on that path from darkness to light. See, now I'm waxing spiritual, but okay.
No, but you're 100% right. That's what the world will do. They will cartoonize faith in Christ in the Bible to put it to a form that's easier to understand because as we're raised, we're taught truth, and that's hopefully from the parents raising you right, love and nurture and teaching you about the Bible in the good ways of a conscience. But a lot of people, especially nowadays, parents are gone out of it. So what do you have? You have your TV, you have your buddies, you have your YouTube, you have your social web of stuff where you get down to a point to where you start absorbing these things into your brain, into your spirituality. And that's what you believe because we don't do any research. We don't back it up. We don't read anything. And that's what this world wants us to do. The enemy wants us to get involved with believing cartoonized and changing stuff up instead of going right to the source, which is your owner's manual, the Bible, you know? And
yeah, I mean, I think it's complicated. I think each individual has their own spiritual path and their own relationship and, you know, where they're at in life. You know, I'm not going to tell anybody else what they should be doing. But nonetheless, I do believe that like every man and every single human being is connected to a larger spiritual world that is ultimately rooted in love. I would say that is ultimately rooted in God, you know, in an infinite one. And I'll also just say this, that like God is beyond any concept. Like if you think you can fit God into a box or you think you can fit God into an idea in your mind, well, then you've got God in your mind. So then great. You know, it's like, no, like whatever it is, I have no idea what God is. I can't say what God is. Like, in fact, the Hebrew word for God is Hashem, which means the name, because ultimately, how are you supposed to name this? How are you supposed to give it a name? It's beyond any name. It's beyond any concept. I'm a finite mortal. I've got a limited mind. How could I possibly understand this? Yet here I am. And in Judaism, the beard is actually connected to that. It's like I'm on a spiritual quest. I'm like here in this world, navigating my way. And the beard is actually a part of that. How are we doing on poetry?
I think everybody put their poems through.
Yeah. You want me to go back and put some more up, or?
I think. I don't know. If I had to pick one so far, it would be Alexander Ravenson's.
Well, which one was this?
Let me see.
Going all the way back.
Why'd you put that comment?
I'm grateful for my daughter and her smiles all around, with all the great blessings from her love to her sound.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I mean, Pizza Face was pretty funny, but that's probably the.
Yeah, I liked. There was a lot of them, but if I had to pick one that was like digging deep if you get what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Listen,
Yeah.
all respect to Harold's famous corned beef and pastrami. You know, like
They do a good job.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that too. I'm gonna vote for Alexander as well.
This one was good too. It's greatest height.
Mm. And also, Mick Mann, may Hashem bless your friend's son Tyler with full physical and spiritual healing. Mick Mann said, "Hey guys, my friend's son Tyler could really use any extra pairs. He was just in a horrible ATV accident, and his life has, and it looks like he needs some healing." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Best to your brother.
Yeah. And by
Yeah,
the way,
Camo
guys,
Cam does
I
that.
am going to make a beard butter, just so you know. It's going to happen. I'm
Are you?
caving into the pressure. Yeah, I'm caving into the pressure. I caved into two pressures. One, partly because of Dan C. I was like, okay, I'm going to blow dry my beard and see what happens. Because, like, I'm a really low maintenance guy. Just to, like, switch back from the spiritual to the physical, I'm a really low maintenance guy. And so, like, I don't want to, like, blow dry my beard, man. Like, I just want to keep it chill. But at a certain point, especially considering that, like, I run a beard grooming company, I was like, you know, like, when I look at Dan C and I look at Urban Husser and I look at, you know, Faithfully Beard and Beard Swag and Beardtastic and BEARDYVLOGGER, and they all got these beautifully groomed beards. What am I supposed to do with myself, man? Like, I got to do something, right? So I, like, busted out my wife's blow dryer, and it was like night and day. It was like a different world. It was just like, oh my God, like, it's just such a different world.
What
And
is
it's
she?
not even that long. It's like 2 minutes, and it's like just like changes everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like chaos versus controlled chaos. Like,
yeah,
like you never have to go too far with it, but just a little bit of, you know, you dry your beard completely, you run it through a couple times, just brings it a little more order to the absolute chaos that can manifest there in the first thing in the morning, and it definitely makes a huge difference. That's for sure.
Yeah, and then in terms of the beard butter, it's like, basically, I know also that what's BeardTube just put out like an expose, which I thought was kind of self-evident, which was that, like, you know, body butter has a lot of the same ingredients as beard balm, you know, and it's like, yeah. But the difference is the branding and the scents, you know, as in beard balms are made for men. And generally speaking, body butter is made for women, generally speaking. You know, and so, and also a lot of the body butters that are like cheaper body butters out there are made by like huge companies, you know, versus like what me and a lot of the other guys, you know, who are in our network are doing, you know, where it's like, we're these little small batch, like, we're like microbrewers. We're like microbrews, you know, we're like
Hey, Brian's making an appearance. Hey, Brian.
What's up, Brian?
Deep. Yeah.
What's up, Brian?
I remember Brian saying once that he's a bomb and go type of feller. He just wakes up and jumps in the shower, bomb, and then he's out like a savage.
Yeah.
But it works well for him. It puts his beard in a really nice place. You know, it's me personally. I'm just there's old videos and pictures of my beard. You know, before I knew how to style, and it's not nice.
Yeah.
Every beard is nice.
What's that?
Every beard is nice.
Yeah, there's different, as in, listen, I at this point also part of it is like I don't even style mine. So it's like I'm like controlled wildness.
Yes.
But so I'm gonna come out with a butter, and part of it is that, and it will actually be scented so people can use it as body butter, because I know a lot of wives who are stealing their husband's beard balm because it's like they look at the ingredients and they're like, hey, this is great stuff, you know, and they'll use it on their skin. And obviously, you know, with essential oils, you have to be careful but at the same time, I haven't had any complaints. You know, I know a woman who uses it as a lip balm. She uses Sukkot as a lip balm.
Crazy.
But so yeah, so there definitely will be a butter coming out.
Eitan, McMahon Billy had a question for you. He says, I have a question that may have been covered. I don't think it has. Are the rules and regulations more rigid or restrict in Israel? Like as in
yeah, it depends on your size. It depends on how big you are. At this point, I'm pretty small, so like for somebody like me, no. But like if you want to be sold in like pharmacies, then like you need to like, then it's like stricter. Yeah.
And I just use the Sukkot as a lip balm. That's really nice. It has a little bit of a kick to it, which is weird because I've never actually really smelled the mint in the Sukkot. But when you put it on your lips, it's like, oh yeah, here's the mint.
Yeah,
it's nice. I like that.
Yeah, it's definitely good stuff.
Yep.
Never thought to do that.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. I recommend it.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying you guys should do this, okay? Like I'm not yeah. I mean, I made it for the beard, but nonetheless, I know people who do it.
Cribs is going for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done it too. It's not made for lips, okay? But you know,
as a disclaimer, yeah.
Yeah.
Now your wives are gonna ask you who you've been kissing.
Inevitably, if you put it on your mustache, it's going to get on your lips anyway. So I mean, it's definitely suitable. But
yeah,
there's nothing in here that would indicate that it should be a problem.
And also, actually, I'm curious, since you guys have probably all used tens, if not hundreds, of products, you know, in your beard careers, like what for you is the difference between balm and butter? And I'm going to ask you another question. Does a night routine really make a difference? Because I don't have a night routine right now. I just do my morning routine and that's it.
I'll start. So for me, butters, I just feel like they're like almost instantly softening. Like when I put a butter in, you just really start feeling the beard kind of soften up. In terms of like a night routine, I've put in butter at night and then not put in butter, and my beard almost feels the same when I wake up in the morning. Whether or not I put butter in, is just like the amount of time that has gone by. You need something in there, but also like I toss and turn a lot in bed, so I think that's part of it too. Like I'm probably rubbing butter onto my pillow every time I'm flipping sides, and so there's really probably nothing left in there. So. For me, a nighttime routine, I haven't really noticed the difference, but that's probably because I toss and turn a lot.
Typically, beard butter just has a lot less beeswax. So, to me, a proper butter is whipped, melts down quite nicely, almost to like an oil, but kind of like a slick oil. And then it's specifically for the functionality of conditioning and nighttime conditioning. In terms of a nighttime routine, I like the idea of a nighttime routine. I have one. I put some butter up and it feels great. And
then do you notice a difference in the morning, like when you wake up in the morning? Like
absolutely, yeah, for sure.
And then you also do something in the morning. So you put your beard butter in at night, and then you also have a morning routine.
Yeah, well, showering and then styling and then using my product or whatever. But yeah, the nighttime butter application definitely. I find oil evaporates a lot quicker in my beard personally, especially if it's cold outside. If it's really, really, really cold outside, unless it's a really thick oil, it's going to evaporate very quickly. And it's gonna be scraggly and just not ideal. More prone to breakage and all that.
We don't get cold in Canada.
You want to go out in this weather right now? We had
snowing here.
we had like +5 weather for like 2 days in a row here, and now it's plummeted right back down to -20, -30. So
Wonderful.
yeah, it's not nice.
And that's Celsius, so that's probably like -50. I don't know how to convert it.
No, I don't either. Canada, says Ben Taft. That's right.
Canada.
What about you?
Anybody else on the night versus morning routine or both, and where people are holding with that?
I just do whatever, and I mean that by Monday through Friday, I test whatever company I'm with. So if they sent me a butter, I'm putting a butter in at night. That would be my normal go-to routine. But if they didn't, I just use oil. And depending on the company, we did a month-long company challenge in December that had no butter, or they did, but I didn't like it, so I stopped using it. I just used oil at night and actually really liked the way that felt. But I really enjoy rich butters that are not very much oil in it, where it's actually more butter and not a carrier oil blend. So when it comes to, I could actually really enjoy a balm at night. That wouldn't maybe have any, if you were to take like a balm without beeswax, that's what a lot of people say butter is, but the butter side of things right now has become so complicated. You got people that use pure butters and just kind of melt them and mix them. You got some that pour, you got some that whip them, some that double whip them, and the ingredients are starting to get so crazy. So sometimes I just kind of like to back off of all the craziness and just use an oil at night just to get some stuff in my beard that and on the skin. And I kind of noticed that a good blended carrier oil will do just as much as a butter for me and my beard. But in the morning, it's always a beard oil, and sometimes a balm, sometimes a butter. But I really enjoy kind of just going oil, really. But I think everybody's beard and beard style and beard, the hair is different thicknesses. I have really fine hair, so sometimes a balm or a butter can weigh my beard down and feel weird. So I like to keep it as light and airy as possible. Swag's got a big old thick beard, so he needs that balm.
It's a thirsty beard over there.
Mine drinks up everything, and I could just get away with an oil, and you could wash. It's not probably the best thing in the world with any kind of a soap that cleans. The chemicals that are in some of the stuff that are for your body or for your shampoo or your hair will probably suffice. But I look at it as the more the merrier. And I know it works. If I didn't have any butter and I needed some kind of a butter consistency for a nighttime, I'm just going to get some balm, put it in my hand, a couple drops of oil, mix it up together, rock it through so it seals it up, and I get that conditioning and sealing as well. But I mean, the co-washes that are specified for the skin of your face, the oils, the balms, the butters, the co-washes, other products are going to come out too that help take care of your beard. If you have the time and you have the currency to buy it, yes, I would highly recommend doing it. As a consumer, I want to do what is best for my beard, first of all, for my skin. And it starts with the skin. It starts at the foundation. And as consumerism goes on, I mean, the more that's out there, the combos you can get or the kits you can get is very, us, the men, the beardos, us consumers like to have sets, like to have everything to match with everything, the hats and the hoodies and the kits, the combs. I mean, it's just something that's in us that wants it. So is it necessary? I think it's not. Is it beneficial? It is. And I think there's a place for it. So I love them. I love them all. The more, the merrier.
It looks like Mick just was saying something.
Sorry, I was on mute. I was just saying, what are your thoughts, Patrick?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My light don't work on the mic, and I don't know. I can never tell when it's on mute. For sure, the butter, especially after a shower at night, because I work around silica, you know, sit in the sand, and when I get home, I'll usually take a shower before I go to bed. You know, do the whole co-wash thing, do the blow dryer, put some oil in, but really light on the oil, and then I'll take a big glob of butter and just, you know, rub it all through. And then usually when I wake up, it's pretty soft. Like I definitely recommend, if you don't do the butter, try it. I think.
And then do you also do something in the morning as well?
Yeah, when I get up, usually there's a little bit of the scent of the butter from the night before. So I'll just use that same balm if I have the same scent in it. And then I'll just, you know, first I'll do the oil and then the balm. What I usually do is, like Mike said, put a little bit of the balm in and then drop a couple drops of oil on it. And then mix it up and then throw it in beard and comb it through and then, you know, go to work. It really helps. It helps me. I love when my beard is really soft.
Yeah, me too.
I have to try that. I've never tried that before.
Yeah, it's something that I think, I can't remember who brought it up. It might have been Dan C. And it was like, if you don't have a butter, just put a couple drops of oil in it, and it's like basically the same kind of thing, same deal.
Cool. Yeah, I'll have to try that.
For me, I generally, you know, it's like, again, it's like I like to be low maintenance. So sometimes I'll just use a balm. Sometimes I'll just use oil. I'll also go back and forth in terms of falling in love with them. If you guys know what I'm talking about, like, even though I make this stuff, I'm like, you want to know what? I just need oil. That's it. I just need oil, you know? And then I'll use the balm. Like, oh my God, the balm, man. Like, what a difference. Like, what? It's a different world with the beeswax. And it's like, you know, and then of course I end up using both. But like, it's just great that they both do their job. And I also find that, like, and I think for guys with shorter beards, this conversation isn't as relevant, but it's like, the oil, in my experience, lengthens the hairs. It like relaxes the hairs and kind of like lets the beard spread out and breathe. Mm-hmm. But then it will still be kind of frizzy. And then the balm with the styling agents, with the shea butter, with the beeswax, that's what like will then give it like more of a hold and more of a shape. That's my experience.
Absolutely.
You really want to be mind blown. Don't put oil in or balm in, and just use butter.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to try that.
Mind blown.
that seems to where the beard community is going. The butters are kind of paramount. I'm still a balm guy. I don't know if you guys saw one of my recent videos. How to apply beard balm, but I kind of do like a comedy parody of that whole the whole movement of the beard community towards butters, and I'm like, hey, don't throw my boy beard balms under the rug there. I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, but a butter doesn't have the beeswax. That's the whole thing. Like, as in, like, how are you going to get the styling agent if you're not using like something stronger? Because
some butters do have beeswax. It just depends on the company.
Yeah, and some of them do. It to get that styling agent. I mean, just like Brian made a comment. I mean, with grooming tips, you know, with actual trimming your beard. Another thing is with length. Over time, it will relax itself, and you won't get as many flyaways. But I am a traditionalist. I love my oil in the morning and my balm right after that, and then at nighttime I slap in my oil and then my butter at night. I mean, that is my ritual to the T. And that changes this summer. It's going to change a lot because I'm going to be out camping a lot, not having a shower every day, and my butters and my balms will go away, and I will just, and this is another video that Dan C did, when you're out in the dirty elements, you don't want all that beeswax and the butters attracting more dirt, so you just go with the oil underneath of it. which worked phenomenally. So just different conditions, different areas, different weather. I mean, it all changes your format and the journey that you go on.
Eitan, are you
Time of
considering
year.
port or whip butter for the butter?
I got to do more research. More research. Yeah. What'd you say? What'd you say, Tyson?
I vote for a poured butter.
A poured butter. Okay. All right, guys. I think we should do this. I think we should do the last giveaway and then wrap it up. Yeah.
Wait,
Yep.
it's up to me.
Okay. So the last giveaway is finish this famous Jewish saying. There are 3 parts, so you got to write in the 3rd part. And also, part of my goal is this for you guys to think about it, because it's actually really deep, which is, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I am only for myself, what am I? And now, what's the 3rd part? In order to win a Boker Tov oil. That's the 3rd part.
You may want to read that again. It's a lot to take in.
Okay. What's it called? If I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I am only for myself, what am I? And then what's the 3rd part?
I think we've got some answers.
Oh, it looks like that beard guy Kansas City got it. And if not now, when? All right. That's Michael.
Dave. That's Dave.
Dave, sorry, Dave. Yeah. Excuse me, Dave.
Yeah, he's
sorry,
a Chiefs
Dave.
fan, so he's cool.
Yeah, I know Dave. Me and Dave got a bond. But my brain just farted. But anyway, yeah. All right, congratulations, David.
Yep, congrats.
Yeah. And
Swag,
so that's
what was
the
that
phrase.
smile about?
If I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I'm only for my... And by the way, this is like a super
You
deep...
know what it was.
Of course I know what it is. If I'm not for myself, who will be for me? If I'm only for myself, what am I? If not now, when? And basically what it is it's like, dude, you got to be for yourself. Like, nobody else is going to be for you. Like, you can't expect other people to be for you. They're for themselves. You know? So it's like, if I'm not for myself, who will be for me? Well, the answer is kind of nobody. But it's not because it's a harsh world. It's because you can be for yourself. Because you got you. Right? You know? And so that's like, if I'm not for myself, who will be for me? But then there's the second question, which is, if I'm only for myself, what am I? But it's like, well, what if you're only for you? That's problematic, because you could end up a jerk. Right? There are other people out there. You do need to be for other people. You do need to care about, you do need to care about your fellow man, but you got to start with yourself first. Right? And then when you, like, you know, and then you have that balance, and then you can reach out to other people and help balance other people.
Yeah.
And then the third was, and if not now, when, means like, and how are you going to start? How are you going to do that in your life? How are you going to show up in your life being for yourself and being for others? So, and that's from Rabbi Hillel. So that's the 3rd piece, and congratulations to David.
Congrats.
Yeah.
It's tough because it feels like, you know, a lot of people, they're on either side of the spectrum. Either they're always selfish or they're not selfish enough. And it's hard to find that like perfect balance between, like, sometimes it's okay to be selfish for yourself as long as you're not always being selfish and then you're a jerk, like you said, right? So it's like finding that healthy balance between, sometimes you just have to be selfish for yourself. You have to take care of number one, but don't focus on that. That shouldn't be the way you live life, is always thinking of number one, right?
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it.
But for me, I find it like a powerful teaching, because I also err on the side of just like wanting to give and not worrying about myself, and then being like, hey man, how come no one's helping me out? And it's like, well, guess what, man? You got to help yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah. And on that note, I'll just finish with the bracha, because I don't know if you guys see me on Instagram doing the bracha of the day
every day.
So just like a dude. So dude, you guys are like the freaking beard trends group, right? So like you are going seriously deep into your beards, you know, and so just may Hashem bless you that you're truly able to internalize and embody, and also for everybody who's watching this to just internalize and embody the kindness and patience and mercy and light and blessing that is being channeled to you through your beard. So yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
Cool.
Yeah, I check out honestly every day. That's like the first thing in the morning I wake up and Andrea's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Bracha of the day. I'm listening."
Wow, thank you. Yeah, and you know, I'm not special. We all have the power to give blessings. You know, we all have that direct connection. So it's like, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for having me.
Great time.
It's great to have you on.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can do another schmooze at some point just for kicks.
Yes. I love to schmooze.
And
Yeah. Awesome.
I love this comment so much. I feel that I could count on every man on the screen. Well, I don't know Kaz, so almost all of them on the screen. Oh well, maybe soon, Kaz.
Cool, man. I got your back, David. Cool. All right, so peace.
Time to eat.
You do?
Peace.
Time to eat.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today, guys. Please like this video. Go check out Aleph Male products. My favorite is the Sukkot oil and balm myself. A bunch of excellent opinions have been shared on this stream, so feel free to rewind, do what you need to do. I thank Akon for joining us today. That was an excellent conversation, and I hope you all have a great day.
And Kaz, thanks for hosting, man.
Hey, anytime.
And
Just for
thank
you.
everybody.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you guys.